This is an official legal disclaimer. The content on Awaken Wellness is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be substituted for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Nothing shared on this show should be taken as personal medical advice. Always consult your physician or qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your medications, supplements, or treatment plan. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it based on something you heard on this podcast.
Hello and welcome. I am coming on live just to take a couple minutes and share with you this moment in time. For me, this might be one of the most epic things that I have personally experienced. I am here live in DC at the FDA building where we are representing LEMD. We are hearing testimony and we are having a chance to weigh in on one of the biggest decisions in healthcare in my generation.
If you've been to the doctor and told your labs were normal, that everything was fine, but you go home feeling awful and defeated, this is a show for you. I'm Tanya Candy, registered nurse and health coach. I too am a recovering sick person. I spent the majority of my adult life on a prescription, doing everything my doctor told me to do, and getting sicker and sicker. In 2019, I walked away from traditional sick care system. After realizing that the root cause of my autoimmune disease and my chronic pain wasn't a missing prescription, it was me. And I had the power to make a change. Now, here's what I want you to know. I'm not anti-doctor, but I am pro-choice. I want you to know that you have options that your doctor probably didn't mention. And you have every right to ask better questions. On Awaken Wellness, I dig into your root causes of why you're still struggling and what you might actually do about it. No fluff, no overwhelm, no pill for every ill, just real common sense, root cause conversations, and a tough, love yet compassionate way. By the time we're done, you'll be awakened. Now, let's get into it.
So, yes, sitting here in Washington at the FDA building. We've been here since around 8 o'clock this morning, and it's 5 o'clock now. We're just now on the third peptide. Came out, took a break, needed some sunlight, and thought, hey, let's just make a quick episode. So far, the vote has gone in our favor on the first two peptides. I do predict that it's going to continue to go this way. The hearings are today and tomorrow. I won't get to stay for tomorrow, but it's been such a blessing to be here today. I really, before I made the trip, I was a little bit clueless, like, no surprise. I'm just gung ho and jump in and let's see how things go. So I was originally going to fly out yesterday and I switched today so I could come to these hearings. It is just a once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, what the hearings are about is the committee at the FDA that is voting on the classification, I think is the right word, of a handful of 7 different peptides. So if you are not hearing about peptides, you're like living under a rock somewhere, right? So there is regulation issues. Now, you know me, I'm definitely not all for the FDA approval, and I'm going to go I'm going to color outside the lines when it comes to my health and not waiting for anybody to approve, whatever. But there's a time and a place for approval. There's a time and a place for oversight. Just like if you go to eat out and you kind of, I'm okay with the state health inspector coming in and inspecting kitchens that are making my food. Just like I'm okay with the FDA coming in and inspecting pharmacies that are compounding things that I'm going to use to help heal my body. I don't know about you, but are you picking up what I'm laying down, right? So, of course, there is all of these, different opinions and different variations and different countries making this stuff. So, I've been in the peptide space long enough to know that there is some really shady shit out there that people they don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And people are frankly getting ripped off. So, hearing testimony today from pharmacies who are doing the inspecting, who are, you know, taking these vials coming in from China, um, they are reconstituting them and they're testing them. And there is a low percent of those products that are actually what they say they are. Sometimes they can't even identify what is actually in them. Now, there's so much conspiracy stuff. I love it too. I'm on the same page with most of you guys with the conspiracy stuff. But there's so much stuff that is just out of line going around. Like peptides are big pharma. They're not. Big pharma does not like this thing that's happening with these peptides. They are not controlling it. They are not profiting from it. These compounding pharmacies are small individual businesses. Well, maybe not all small, but you know what I mean. They're not what a lot of these influencers are saying they are. So and they're not mRNA, they're not like vaccines. Like people are just saying so much weird stuff, so much weird stuff. I've had the chance to visit with these people from the pharmacies themselves that are like, what? Well, that's not even possible. Like, they do find heavy metals, they do find other toxins and plastics and stuff like that, particles in it. But like things are just, people just post stuff, say stuff to be saying it. And that too, that's where freedom of speech, that's where things, they go rogue. They just go rogue. So I'm here in person, finding out for myself what's true. Obviously, everybody is going to say everything is fake and staged, right? To some level, yeah, yeah, maybe so. But right now, right here, this is my truth that I'm sharing with you. The the whole point to this FDA committee, I should have done my homework before I came on live. It's been some years ago. These peptides, these 7 peptides, were scheduled or classification 1, which meant they were like open to be used by these compounding pharmacies. They were like, it was just more open. And then all of a sudden they went to this schedule 2, which kind of like shut down things, made things trickier, made things a little bit harder to navigate. So now they're back in a place where they're trying to go back to this classification where it is easier for the compounding pharmacies to do this, to be on the up and up. It is within practice for licensed physicians to write prescriptions for them for a individual person. That's like what this compounding pharmacy, the 503A, is about. You can put somebody's name on it. This is Tanya Candy's um, TB-500 prescription, like that kind of thing. So it's a big deal. What our stance as the company that I joined forces with, what our stance is we do want appropriate regulation. We want it to stay in the hands of people who know what's going on. We want for physician oversight. We want that safety. So we're asking actually for some sort of government regulation because of what we're seeing with these gray market peptides where people are, buying vials, mixing it themselves, having to pretty much just guess at the dose. Maybe the company gives them some sort of dosing to go by. Maybe not. Maybe they're on their own, right? That's where things get a bad rap. Um, and the not knowing what's really in it. So one of our partners here, one of the gals that went to the Congress offices with us, she was here to tell her story. She's a nurse anesthetist. She was buying gray market tirzepatide from a coworker, and she got in this situation where she just kept getting sicker and sicker, and something was wrong. She ended up in the ICU. She ended up sick. Just terrible things happened to her. And it was because of this uncontrolled substance that she was using from someone she trusted. But it turns out this gal was just buying it off the black market, gray market, however you want to say it, mixing it up at home and just writing people's names on it. And she was a provider, a licensed provider. So, she was in some dangerous territory doing that in the first place. And then this gal got super sick. So, things like that happen, especially when you try to take things away from people. Like, you know how it is, right? You tell a minor they can't drink alcohol, and that's all they want to do is drink alcohol. You tell a minor that they can't smoke, that's all they want to do is smoke. Now, when it comes to peptides, these things are not new, but they might be new to you. They were new to me just because of who we run with, right? Just because, like, I don't follow sports, so I can't tell you anything about football teams or their stats or their colors or whatever. I don't speak that language. Until a year ago, I didn't speak peptide either. Actually, all that alphabet soup, I still don't really speak. I just turn all my clients over to the expert, to the licensed providers. And that's the way I want to keep it. I didn't want to learn peptide language. I absolutely believe in them. I absolutely think they work, but I don't want the responsibility. You know what I mean? I want the provider to be responsible. So, where was I going with all of that? I'm not even sure. The language. Maybe you speak peptide, maybe you don't. But it is going to be the biggest needle mover, the biggest change in my lifetime as far as healthcare goes. Just like antibiotics, when they first came out in that generation, was that big thing. That's what peptides are for us. Now, are they natural? Not really. What is natural in this world? All of our food is GMO'd. Is it natural? Not really. Um, Weather patterns, the clouds. What is natural? What in this earth is still natural? Not much. The soil, everything else. Anyway, that's a different story. Peptides technically are synthetic. They are manufactured, they are made somehow by whatever means, which we also, as a company, as a mission, we're hoping to see this even further. We're hoping to see US only manufacturing. Now, the company that I choose to partner with, that's where they're going. That's where they're going. As soon as it is possible, that's what it will be. We're probably going to be more expensive, but girl, we're worth it. US sourcing. We know that when we are outsourcing our resources to other countries, especially like China, and borders start to shut down, things start to get taken away, it cripples. It just cripples. So that's another component to this whole thing is US sourcing. It means something. It really made in the US means something. But when it comes to a subject like your health, like what you're going to inject in your body, it means a little something more, right? We know bad things came from China, right? We know bad things come across the borders, and we do want to have our finger on this. We do want to know what's going on. So, let me get back there, right? This is going to be the biggest thing in our generation. Used to be for the wealthy. It used to be the gym rats. But now, especially because, like me, I'm doing word of mouth advertising, people are getting results. Everybody is talking about this. When things work, people share. When things don't work, people share. So, either way, this subject is on everyone's lips. It just is. Now, I have so many thoughts. I have so many thoughts, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I can't wait to hear your comments. So the peptides were synthetic, or they are technically synthetic. That's what we were talking about. They are amino acids that have been man-made, put together in combinations. They mimic things in your body that used to work right, that used to do these things when you were young, whether it's a pathway in your gut, whether it's the way your body heals and restores tissue. These are all things that, just kind of slow down and work different as we age. Whether it is improving your mitochondrial health or reducing inflammation or these. So, no, I'm not claiming peptides are natural. I am not claiming injecting yourself with something is a natural process. It's not. That that is not my argument. But I am saying that people who want to live better, who want their health back, are willing to build a bridge. They're willing to do some things that they didn't think they'd do before. They're this crowd of people that has tried everything for whatever, whether it's mast cell activation syndrome or whether it's just autoimmune disease or inflammatory bowel disease or just metabolic imbalance, just sick and tired of being fat and sick and tired. These peptides are moving the marker for people. Now, are they cheap? No. Being sick ain't cheap. Is insurance going to pay for it? Never. That's how you know that that's how I know that I'm still on the right side of this because insurance doesn't want to have nothing to do with it. Most mainstream medical doesn't want to have nothing to do with it. So the haters out there making up stories about what the peptides are, let's just stick to what they're not, right? They're not what some of those haters are saying they are. There's multiple different ways. Now, I personally I'm just not buying the whole plant peptide thing, right? Collagen, yeah, that's a peptide. This is different. This is not collagen. That is not what we're talking about. Coming up next, I might have missed the boat on TB-500, but my peeps in there will get me caught up. The next peptide that we're going to end the day on is called MOTS-c. That one I really like. That one really helps your mitochondria. It helps kind of speed up your metabolism, kind of ups that thermostat and asks your body to remember how to burn fat. Like, who's not going to like that? Honestly, when I first started using that, I really had to go down in the dose because my mitochondria is pretty good. Like I make sure my mitochondria runs pretty solid. And so that MOTS-c kind of really boosted my thermostat. Like I just was hot all the time, sweaty all the time because you're like burning calories. It's like that workout without working out. And my basal metabolism, I mean, I was a chubby kid. I have never had much of a basal metabolism. And I've got Hashimoto's. I've got some serious thyroid stuff that complicates everything else for me. So that MOTS-c is a winner for me. Something that you might want to check out if you've got any of those issues. For me, when I paired it with tirzepatide, now I was one of those people that tirzepatide, or we call it GLP-1/GIP, it didn't ring my bell. I always kept my dose low because of my digestion, and I was just, kind of skeptic. I didn't want to get it up there. I didn't want, those side effects. That's the side effects happen when you're too greedy and when your dose is too high. So it was really slow for me. Losing weight was really slow. My metabolic picture has always been like my A1C has always been pretty low. My insulin is pretty low, but yet, I got the Hashimoto's, I got the other things that are working against me. So anyway, I just stayed nice and slow and steady with that tirzepatide. When I brought in the MOTS-c, my body was, oh, now I get it. I know what she wants to do. And that fat started releasing. My body composition started changing. So, MOTS-c, or like I say, so far, peptides down. That, but I'm betting it was a yes. Why am I still going? Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I thought I lost everything. Yay, I don't have to start over. Oh, I'll take you on a little tour here. So we're here at that FDA. Right? Little old me.
This is an official legal disclaimer. The content on Awaken Wellness is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be substituted for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Nothing shared on this show should be taken as personal medical advice. Always consult your physician or qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your medications, supplements, or treatment plan. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it based on something you heard on this podcast. All right, that's all I've got for you today. If any of this hit close to home, I want you to remember you're not crazy. Just because your labs say normal does not mean everything is fine. And you have options. Number 1, start asking better questions of the doctor you already have. If you're ready to take the first step here, check out my 5-day free Fresh Challenge. The link is in the show notes. Just 5 days, no overwhelm, get you back to the basics. You can do anything for 5 days. And if you found value here, please like and share and leave a 5-star review so this show can touch more people who need it. Every review helps us reach someone who is still sitting at home thinking they're crazy. You can also find me live on YouTube. Search Awaken Wellness TV. Hit that like and subscribe button so you make sure you get notified when this show goes live. I'm Tanya Candy, and this is Awaken Wellness.